One of the frequent criticisms of the Lightning Network is that it is difficult to use self-custodially. And I have covered this a lot on my channel. I have a whole playlist dedicated to Lightning, how it works, tutorials on both custodial and non-custodial or self-custodial solutions and wallets. And along the way, I've explained some of why that has indeed been tough to create a user experience that is easy while being in possession of your keys. The Lightning Network, it is different than with on-chain Bitcoin. And there's a lot of doom and gloom out there, right? Skeptics in other parts of the crypto world say, oh, Bitcoin, Lightning Network is a complete failure. Everyone's going to be using it custodially. And frankly, if you look at how people use the fiat system today, it's all custodians all the way down. So there's a part of a lot of people that's like, I kind of want someone else to worry about it. But can we do better? And I think the answer is yes. The good news is that we have come such a long way with the self-custodial Lightning UX. And there's all sorts of different efforts underway, including what we're building at Jolts, my startup. If you're not following us on X, you should be. We are at Jolts_BTC. We are going to be rolling out some crazy stuff in the coming months. So be sure you're following along, and I will definitely be covering that into some degree on the channel here. But I don't want to self-shill too hard today because the topic for today's discussion is Alby Hub. I have done a video on Alby in the past as a custodial Lightning solution. And with custodial Lightning, it's easy, right? The custodian is taking care of all of that complexity related to the Lightning Network, and you are left with quite an elegant, simple UX. But what Alby Hub brings is the ability to have a lot of the same Alby features while using the Lightning Network self-custodially, meaning you are going to be running your very own Lightning node. This video is made possible by Bitcoin trading cards, and I am pumped to have them as the first sponsor on my channel. I met Aladdin and the team back at Pacific Bitcoin 2022, and I'm not going to lie, at the time I thought, okay, cool, a quirky little Bitcoin project, but little could I have imagined at the time how this project would capture imaginations. I've personally used these to orange pill people that I care about in my life. The art is stunning and features Bitcoin artists all around the world. You get high quality Bitcoin education on topics like economics and freedom as part of that, which makes this, as you can imagine, a really special project for me. And I'm not gonna lie, it makes you want to collect these. The community behind this is also truly insane. And I think they have a real shot at bringing Bitcoin to the mainstream. So if you're curious to check them out, head over to btc-tc.com where you can find the different series they've launched. And hey, if you do end up snagging some cards, you'll also get some Bitcoin rewards back on your purchase, powered by Jolts. Here's to ripping packs and stacking sats. Okay, and so if you are brand new to Alby, it may be useful to check out that other video that I referenced. But in today's video, I'm going to jump right into the tutorial, and I'm going to comment a little bit on self-custodial Lightning usage more generally at the end, if you are curious for why it's difficult and some of the different approaches that are emerging to address that. But let's jump now into the tutorial. All right, so to get started, I am on albyhub.com. You can see this is their new homepage for the Alby Hub offering. And so what you can do is somewhat dependent on whether you have an Alby account yet or not. If you don't, you can click this link to join the waitlist. I think there's about 8,000 or so folks on the waitlist, and they're extending invites every day, but I'm not sure how long of a wait that will be, but I think they're going through it pretty quickly. Additionally, if you sign up for their newsletter, I'm not sure if that's somewhere here, or you can always go to getalby.com and sign up for their newsletter. I have seen them include a little link that you can use to skip the waitlist. So one of those options for you if you do not yet have an Alby account, or if you do, we can just click Get Alby Hub. And so we can see that there are these two main flavors. There's the do-it-yourself flavor, where you get your own Lightning node. It's open source, self-custodial, as we've discussed. You get that at getalby.com Lightning address, Nostr address, and all sorts of other stuff. LSP services built in to make it easy to do channel maintenance. And to expand on that do-it-yourself flavor, again, you can do that for completely free. you can come over to their user guide. So this is guides.getalby.com. I will put these links in the description down below. But they have some great documentation here. You can see these different flavors for running Alby Hub. So I'm going to skip the Alby Cloud because that's what I'm going to demonstrate and show today. There's other cloud options you can do. You can also just download this on your desktop. However, keep in mind that this is a Lightning node. And so that old laptop or whatever it is that you're using would need to be on 24/7. It would need to run 24/7. There's also Docker if you're a little more technical. There are ways that you can get this onto Umbrel or Start9. So lots of different flavors here that I wanted to mention. I'm going to show today Alby Cloud for a couple reasons. One, I want to support the team here. The Alby team is absolutely incredible. They've done some absolutely incredible work, for Bitcoin and for the Lightning Network. And I think, frankly, this is a pretty darn good offer. So 10,500 sats a month. This is a 50% off offer for your first 3 months that they are currently running. And so to be clear of what this is, once we do this, Alby is spinning up a brand new Lightning node for you in dedicated hardware somewhere. This is going to be, in a proper data center. It's going to be online 24/7. You don't have to worry about any of the hardware. And I am certainly not discouraging you from going out and, getting an Umbrel home or getting a Start9 or even building any of that yourself. I'm just saying from personal experience, if you want to really seriously use this, the reliability aspect is really nice. And keep in mind, this is still self-custodial. You still control the keys. Alby does not and will never get control of your keys. So I'm going to go ahead and say get Alby Cloud, and we'll go ahead and hit upgrade. So it recaps the subscription terms. This will be charged from the wallet once a month. They have a 30-day risk-free refund guarantee, which is really nice. You can cancel anytime. So that is pretty cool. Let's subscribe. Okay, the subscription is ready. So let's go ahead and launch the Alby Hub. And so again, as I mentioned, this is literally spinning up a brand new Lightning node. Okay, so welcome to Alby Hub, a powerful all-in-one Bitcoin Lightning wallet, and importantly, it is self-custodial. Anywhere, anytime, your wallet is always online, ready to use on any device. You can remotely connect this to apps, as we will discuss. Your keys are safe. Your wallet is encrypted by a password of your choice. No one can access your funds but you. Take your wallet with you. You can connect your wallet to lots of different apps. And so here we are. Welcome to Alby Hub. So we can do either get started or the advanced setup. Let's just see what this is. Okay, so the advanced setup lets you import a wallet with a backup file. So that is fine. We're going to just get started here. And we're going to create a password. This is very important. It should be a good password. This is what encrypts the keys on your node. And furthermore, as it says here, it cannot be reset or recovered if you lose it. So you need to keep this safe. All right, we have secured this password, and I understand this password cannot be recovered. Okay. All right, excellent. So we are officially in the Alby Hub, and we'll take a tour in just a moment, but let's walk through the setup step process. So step one, we need to open our first channel. And this is very nice, right? So because I've linked to my existing Alby account, I had a little over 300,000 sats in my custodial Alby wallet. Obviously, I have paid the subscription monthly fee, so that 291,000 is right. And so, as we can see, these funds are going to be used to open my Lightning channel. And again, this is necessary, right? Whenever you're using a custodial solution, all the channel stuff is what they are taking care of. And what you're getting in your balance is really just a database entry in many ways. So it is critical that you yourself are opening channels between your node to others. And then they're going to take care of the migration of that spending balance as well. So that's really nice. There's some advanced options here. You can elect to make it a public channel. By default, it is going to be a private channel, which is nice if it's just sort of you using this. Like if you don't want to use this as a routing node, if you do want to use this as a routing node, you would need to make this a public channel. Otherwise, you will not be able to route payments through your node. So I'm going to leave it as a private channel, and we're going to say open channel and migrate funds. So the channel is opened. Our new Lightning channel is ready to use. And again, this is what I really like about this. Like, it kind of guides you through the process. You almost don't need a tutorial from Ian to, show you how this works. To illustrate what has just happened, let's go to the node section here. And we can see that what has happened is we have a channel now established with Megalith. So Megalith is a well-known routing node and LSP, Lightning Service Provider. And so Alby is sort of automatically choosing a good, well-connected node who will open a channel with you. And that is exactly what's happened here. So I have my spending balance. This is on my side of the channel. So I can send up to 271,000 sats. I can always top that up. And then I have that receiving capacity representing how much value I can receive in. And I can increase that if I need. I can click these little dots. I can see the funding transaction. If I want to inspect the UTXO information that was associated with this channel opening, I can take a look at the node statistics on amboss.space. So here is Megalith, one of the very well-connected nodes. So that just gives you a little bit more transparency into what's going on there. The final little chunk here is our savings balance. So this is your on-chain balance. So your Lightning node has a on-chain balance as well. So you could deposit Bitcoin to this. So you'll see a classic on-chain address that you can copy and or scan the QR code. Or again, you can always buy Bitcoin and top up with a card or Swift or SEPA. You can manually open more channels, right? And this is pretty slick. It's just like, hey, what size do you want? 500? Next. And then it's telling us, hey, wait a second, you don't have any on-chain Bitcoin. That is the balance from which your node is going to pull from in order to create new channels. And so, here's what it's recommending for us to deposit and send to this. Or again, you could top it up with your credit card or bank account. Very, very cool stuff. There's also this advanced menu where you can grab, this is the actual node public key. If someone else is trying to establish a connection with you and you want to permit that, you can share your node public key here with them. But that is super, super clean. Let's just go through a couple of these little settings, right? You can change the theme, key backup, which we will do momentarily. You can migrate the node. You can go to your Alby account, some debugging tools, feedback. There's the knowledge base, which will direct you to the guides that they have, which is very good. And you get live support, at least when you do the paid subscription. So that is also very nice. Now, just to quickly demonstrate for folks who might be a little bit newer to Lightning, and again, if you are, I would recommend taking a look at my playlist on this channel, which talks about how the Lightning Network works. But just to really quickly demonstrate how you would receive and send, this would support two main methods of sending. You would be able to enter an invoice that someone else has created. So someone else would create an invoice saying, hey, pay me 50,000 sats or whatever it is. You would be able to paste that in here. Or alternatively, you can type in a Lightning address. For those of you not familiar with the Lightning address, I have done a whole video on that topic. It is basically a human readable, almost like an email address that abstracts away some of that complexity related to an invoice. Also just makes it a little bit easier, right? I can just send value to someone without them having to first create an invoice, which is obviously a friction point. So for example, I could say ragermajor@strike.me. That is my Lightning address associated with my Strike account, which is a custodial app that has Lightning support. Again, I'm just doing this as a demonstration. I'll hit continue and let's send 1,000 sats. Continue. And so here we are as well in my Strike app. And so I'll say confirm payment. And there we can see. So we see the notification in Strike. We see the payment having been successful in Alby Hub. So we have just sent value out. Very cool. We can come back to our wallet. We see that payment reflected in our transaction history. And again, we can see that also reflected in my Strike history here. And then to receive value into our wallet and Alby Hub, we can of course hit the receive button. It'll always remind us how much value we can receive. And so if you're going the traditional route of Bolt 11 invoices, you could, for example, say, hey, I want 20,000 sats for, whatever. create that invoice, and I will get both a scannable QR code. In just a moment, I'm going to show you how to pull all of this up on your phone, which is also very cool. So you could do all this on the go. Or you could copy this invoice and share it with someone else to pay you. Or alternatively, they could just pay your Lightning address. And so through Alby, you can get your very own Lightning address. To get to what your Lightning address is, you can go to Connections, and you will see it right here. So this is with the linked Alby account. So that is how you can do your Lightning address. Now, I've also done a whole video on how to set up your very own custom Lightning address. So you can check that out if you are so curious. But again, let's take a look at how that would look. And so I come back to Strike, and let's just send some Bitcoin. I'm going to send it to a Lightning address. I'm going to send it to ragermajor@getalby.com. I'll say, 50,000 sats. I'll go ahead and confirm that. There we go. So it says send successful. So that's reflected in my Strike account. And then I can come back to my wallet, and indeed I see that 50,000 as well. So pretty cool. Instantly settled in my own self-custody with my Lightning node. That is pretty magical. So again, depending on the different wallets you're using, it might look slightly different, but I wanted to at least demonstrate for those of you that might be a little bit newer to Lightning. Now let's come back up to finish the setup process. It's going to invite us to connect to our first app. So this will take us to the App Store. So you can connect your Alby Hub, your self-custodial wallet, to a variety of apps, whether those are Nostr clients. For those not familiar with Nostr, I've done a couple of videos on that. You can search on my channel. There are a couple of particularly cool kind of special apps as well before I show an example of that. One is this BuzzPay POS. This is pretty cool. You can open this up. You can see I was already doing some testing. You can create different point of sale terminals, right? I could say, test store 1. And this provides an actual link, like this is an actual URL that I can give to an employee, or I could have pulled up on whatever device. Maybe it's a tablet in my, restaurant or hotel or, whatever business you have. And that is accessible, right? And this is way easier to deploy than, say, a, fully self-hosted BTC Pay server, link, for example, although I've done videos on that as well. And so, you can click on this little shopping icon. You can create a new item here, chocolate bar, 10,000 sats, add item. And so then when you present this to someone, they can select the item they want. Okay, great. And now we can, charge them 10,000 sats, and this is now presenting a scannable QR code for the customer to pay. So it's a handy little quick tool. I'm sure this will, see improvements as well over time, but very cool to just have that built in where you can whip up on the fly these different links for kind of little payment terminals. Very, very cool stuff. Additionally, you have this friends and family app, so you can actually create, and have them connect through different options. Don't actually think the Alby Go mobile app is live just yet, but that is coming very, very soon. So they would be able to download this app, scan a QR code here, and they would be able to use your node without having to worry about it all themselves. So this is a great way for how you can extend your node and its usefulness to your friends and family if you wish. So those are a couple kind of unique ones that I wanted to spotlight, but then in general, it's going to depend on the app, but each of these apps, generally speaking, should have some sort of a wallet settings area that you can go to and then pair up your sort of connection string, your connection secret. So to illustrate that, let's just go to this, random one here, Zappy Bird. What's also cool about this and connecting to these different apps is you can specify the level of permissions. You can say, hey, I want to be able to both send and receive value, or hey, I only want to be able to receive value. You can set a budget. You can set an expiration time for when this connection, ends, maybe of 1 week. So very cool to have that level of control. And if I hit next, we can see that when we open Zappybird and we have this connect wallet button, and so your Alby Hub account is capable of connecting via something called Nostr Wallet Connect. I recently did a video on that, so there's a lot of sort of embedded context in this video, but Nostr Wallet Connect, you can come over here, copy this pairing secret, and then paste it in and connect, and boom, it has connected and correctly reflected my balance. And I can now play, Zappybird, right? And I think it's like a sat per jump or something. There's a prize pool that you can win if you do the... So again, a sort of cutesy little example, but that is the idea behind these apps and the power of being able to customize your budget and all that different stuff. So very cool stuff there. I'm excited to see how that app store continues to evolve. And if you have an app yourself, you can submit that here too. So the next thing I want to do is to demonstrate how you can take this on the go. So to recap what we've done so far, we set up our very own Lightning node hosted in the cloud. We've set up our Alby Hub. We've created our first Lightning channel so that we have inbound and outbound capacity or liquidity, meaning we can send and receive payments. We took a look at how we can adjust those different values. And so if we come back to the home screen, we can see this a little bit at the bottom. What they're recommending here for taking this on the go is going to be to install Alby Web as a progressive web app. All that means is that you're going to a web page, and then you're effectively going to make that a icon that you can revisit that looks and feels like an app on your phone. And as you can see, it basically just instructs you to open this link, getalby.com/dashboard. So I have gone ahead and done that on my phone. If you are not logged in on your phone, you can just simply put in the email address that you use for your Alby account. It will send you a one-time code, and then you can log in and you'll stay logged in for 30 days at a time. And as you can see, I have my wallet. I can come to the wallet tab in my Alby Hub, and I can see that indeed that balance aligns exactly. And I can see all of my transactional history, the invoice payment, all that good stuff. I can send and receive directly from here with all the great, functionality that folks are used to with Alby. And then to make this sort of persist as a progressive web app, it's going to look a little bit different depending on the web browser you're using, whether you're on Android, whatnot. On Safari here on iPhone, you can click this little middle icon, the share icon, and you will see this option that says add to home screen. So we'll select add to home screen, and we will go ahead and add it. And so there you go, right? I've got my nice little Alby icon. It feels and looks like an app. I can select it anytime, and it will take me to there. What's also really cool is, in addition to all the functionality of send, receive, you can buy Bitcoin directly through here. In the top right, you can also directly go to your Alby Hub, which is super cool. And so this is going to pull up your Alby Hub. Of course, it is locked behind the password that you have set for your Alby Hub. And so there you go. So that is super cool. You can come to the top left. You can see all your different, node information. You can open channels directly from here. So you can have all of that on the go. This is super slick. And then lastly, and certainly not least, for our final setup step, we want to back up our keys. And so if we come over to, this is just in the settings area, as I alluded to earlier, it's going to have us put in our password, and we will be able to reveal our 12-word seed phrase. So this is, of course, important. There is no way to recover this. If you lose this, you're going to want to click on each of these words to reveal them, write them down in a secure place, keep them safe, do not share them with anyone else. Now, the last point on the topic of backups is that this will allow you to recover your on-chain funds. However, you're typically going to need additional information to recover your Lightning channels. You're going to need your channel state. It sounds like that will be made available at some point, but I don't think you can actually get that yet. you can come to this migrate node section and create a backup to migrate your node to a brand new Alby Hub sort of setup. And I'm assuming, based on its description, that it will additionally grab that extra information I'm referring to. However, you probably don't want to do this just yet because it's going to shut down your node and migrate it over. So anyway, just be aware of that I think there are some bits and pieces that will hopefully see in terms of the backup process. But all in all, very cool stuff. Let's go ahead and conclude today's video. All right, so today we took a look at Alby Hub, and I must say I am very impressed at what they have built. Again, no shade to tools like Thunder Hub, like Ride the Lightning, but Alby Hub brings an exceptionally better user experience and simpler interface to doing the key actions that you need to do for running a Lightning node. And then in my case, I chose today to do the cloud-hosted hardware, so that burden gets taken away from me as well. And what I'm left with, honestly, is a really great experience. Is this for absolutely everyone and your grandma? Maybe not. But I do think this moves the needle on making it easier to run your own Lightning node and therefore use the Lightning Network in a self-custodial fashion, because those things are one in the same. You either need to be running your own node somehow. That could be a standalone machine like Umbrel Home, like Start9. I've done tutorials on Umbrel on this channel, how to build your own node from scratch. Like, you could go that route for sure. You also have this category of mobile wallets where the Lightning node runs right on your phone or whatever device it is that you're using. Things like Zeus, Phoenix, Breeze. And then you finally have another category of solutions that sort of abstracts away all the channel stuff entirely with the use of swaps. So Moon Wallet, which I have a tutorial on, was perhaps the first notable example of this, where they're using submarine swaps and they present the user with a unified balance and allows them to send and receive Lightning payments. But it's not actually a Lightning wallet per se, because they are using submarine swaps behind the scenes, which works well. However, that can be challenging when it comes to on-chain fees, right? Because for every submarine swap, there is an on-chain fee related to that. And so as an example of what we're building at Jolts, we will have coming out very soon a desktop version and then mobile to follow of the Jolts wallet, which is a non-custodial on-chain Lightning and Taproot assets, stablecoins, coming to Lightning. Love it or not, it's coming. You'll be able to have support for all of those things all in one place. And there's some clever stuff we can do with Taproot assets that allows us to trustlessly batch transactions to lower the fees of what you would get in Moon, for example. So again, there's these different categories of approaching this, and it'll be really interesting to see how this all shakes out. But for those doom and gloomers that say, oh, self-custodial Lightning is cooked and we need to move to eCash or whatever, I'm not saying that eCash is necessarily bad, but I think we are far from the end of the story for self-custodial Lightning usage. But I'm curious to hear, what are your thoughts on any of these topics? What are your thoughts on Alby Hub? Have you tried it out? Let me know in the comments down below. But I hope you found this valuable and insightful. If you did, you already know what to do. Give this video a like. Use the share feature underneath this video. That really does help get this to a broader audience. And if you're so enamored with this content and you want to donate to a pleb, which really does help me continue to make these videos, you can zip some sats my way on the Lightning Network to my Lightning address, RagerMajor at getalby.com, which will now go to my very own self-custodial wallet. And for those of you that want to get in touch with me, I'm now working with quite a few clients one-on-one, helping them with taking self-custody, hardware wallets, Bitcoin privacy best practices, Lightning Network, and more. You can reach out to me at vita.io/IanMajor. But for now, we'll go ahead and leave things here. As a reminder, every sat counts. And until next time, my friends, I'll see you then.